let's take a look here for just a second. I'm going to just go ahead and stand for me for a second. I just wanted to do a little bit of an assessment with you. Let's do a little bit more internal rotation going. So we want to emphasize the external rotation, not from your feet, but more from your hips. So in that case, I'm going to use a resistance band around your thighs so that we can strengthen that area of your body.
Are you looking at my knees when you see that?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not this is more for corrective placements and stuff. So as we're doing the work, we can focus on like I don't want to take the word corrective, but to get it back into its proper alignment. And I'm just comfortable with you. I'm gonna actually just kind of jump into footwork. So I'm gonna lie down on your back here. And what we'll do is we'll take this band and we can place this above the knee. So all the way through, take that all the way up to a comfortable position. Yes. And we're going to start with those heels on top of the foot bar. Let's flex the feet for me so that the toes are pointing upward. So shift this foot over slightly. That's it. Relax through those arms, pressing down through those palms. We're going to take an exhale to press on out. Good. And then start to slowly bring it in. So the thought process here is that I do want you to have some continuation of like pulling outward. Not anything crazy, but I do want to feel like you are making this a very deliberate movement of actually keeping the resistance. Yes. And then we're tracking really nicely in those railroad tracks. Maintain that position, that pressure into my hands. So my hands aren't moving, so stay connected here. That's it. Very nice. Good. Maintain that. I'm going to check you from the back here. So I'm looking to make sure that those knees are running with your ankles and knees are running with your hips. Now, as you continue there, Julie, think of your right hip pushing downward into the mat without really changing the position of your legs here. So 3 more good ones like that. Yes. And 1 more time. Good. Now bring it in halfway for me. Hold it right there. Push out a tiny bit more. Right hip is down a little bit. You can feel that shift. It looks like the right hip is a little bit tighter, so maybe move that safety side. So as you maintain the heat here, I just want you to keep your left leg just as quiet as it is, and your right knee out to the side, and then pull through center, hold. Out to the side, hold through center, hold. That's it. Out to the side for 8 and 7. So what I'm doing is I'm wanting to really contract through that right side to loosen up the muscle so that it can naturally open out to more external rotation. Because right now there's a lot of internal rotation. Good. 2 more. 1 more time. And in the meantime, you're already feeling a lot of your quads, so pressing out, 2 straight legs. And let's bring you back. Let's go ahead down to your toes. You're staying parallel. Having this nice equal weight distribution in all of your toes. Out as you exhale. Inhale to float it back in. Think about the pressure being pressed into the ball of your foot. Good. Exhale. Now those ribs, you want to feel like as you do your exhale, they're knitting together. The weight of your right hip is pressing firmly into the carriage. That's it. And press it away for 6. Can you feel anything in your body as you're in here? Or does it just feel completely normal?
It feels pretty normal.
Okay.
I mean, I feel the difference with the band. Because I do notice my knees are open.
There's 3 more here. Nice. Keep that equal pressure there on the toes. 2, pressing downward.
You can't tell if I would have seen this skill more.
Good push on out. You're actually lifting your right heel up higher than your left side. Yeah. Hold it right there. Push out a little halfway. Right there. Just hold and maintain. Drop your right heel down a little bit. And then drop your left heel just slightly. Hold it right there. Okay, so just match that up for me. Right above your knees, right? Yes. That looks good. A little bit more pressure into the right hip. There you go. And little pulses up and down. 10, 9. It's like so quiet, the movement, because once we get it super quiet, we can isolate that area of muscle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it out. Drop both heels under. So we'll get a good stretch there. Good calves. And then let's bring your heels back up and your knees to return in. And then for you, I do want to go into heels together, toes apart, and having those knees in line with your shoulders. Not so much for this one. Bring that in slightly. Right there. Take that breath. And bring it back in. Hovering right off that stopper. Finding this heel. It's the right heel that wants to like jump up so high. So I'm going to kind of put pressure down into it to see where do you feel like you have to work harder.
On the left side.
Yeah. It's typically
So my
the
left
opposite.
side is compensating.
Yes.
Which is why it lifts too.
And that's what you'll notice with like folks when you're teaching is that there is like this sense, and again, I'm holding you pretty tight here, is it's always the opposite. So whatever you see, it's definitely like in a half. Others are going to be rewarded, or that's the compensating side. Great, let's take it for 3. Good, take it away for 2. Zipping through those inner thighs. Again, feet pelvic floor as we strengthen the entire core region. And then let's return it and come back in again. Okay. Okay. So from here, just go back to parallel for me. We're going to go ahead and push out to 2 straight legs. And then I'm going to just drop those heels under for a moment. Get a good stretch. Just kind of just slightly more out there for a little bit.
My Achilles on this side. It's going to be really tricky.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Could be putting more pressure the way we're standing on it. So then it gets overactive. And then go ahead and bring both legs. And now cut it halfway, hold it right there. Now I just want you to pulse once upward and then 2 downward. And then hold once upward and 2 downward. Trying to close the coils of the springs here, bringing the carriage all the way back. But it takes a little bit of repetitions just to get you there. Yes, probably about 1 more. And come in all the way to close it up. Good. Okay, so from here, I just want you to hang on to the pecs for me. Just do a little bit of windshield wipers here with your legs. Just allowing this to be your opportunity to relax through your facial muscles, to soften through the jaw. Beautiful. And then I'm going to keep you with the band right now. Okay. I'm going to reduce their tension. So I'm going down from about 2 mediums and a heavy, because that's what we did your footwork on. 2 reds and a green. Down to just 1 heavy. So our 1.25. Go ahead and grab a hold. Just the 1 green right now. Yeah. Grab a hold of your handles. And we're going to send those arms straight up towards the ceiling. Finding your way into the tabletop position. Separation of the knees. That's it. Take an exhale to press with both arms down. Really working through your lat muscles. So again, there's this energetic feeling coming out from your toes. There's this sense of heaviness as you like press through almost like, think of like quicksand as you're pressing through this heaviness to get your arms to hover off that carriage. Good. Press it down for 4. Hold it right there for a second. Roll your right shoulder back for me. Now, as you maintain that alignment, press down again, and we have 3. I just want to really open up your shoulder and stretch out your pecs there. 2. Good. One more time. Hold it right there. Flip the palms to look into the hips. Open your arms wide to a T. Exhale, gather that energy to pull inward. Yes. And bring your knees a little closer to you just to get a little bit more connected there. That's it. Just feel that heat develop with each repetition here. Take it for another 4. 3. 2. Good. One more. Hold it right there. Now bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Let's take an exhale and flex the head and the chest up for me. 5. Lower everything back down again. Let's curl up for 4. Yes. And then we're really focusing on maintaining neutral wrist here. So as you come up, make sure that the wrist is in good alignment. Fingertips are reaching forward. That's it. Last 2. Exhale to lift. Beautiful. One more. Stay up for me. Hold it right there. You're going to bring your arms straight up without losing your height. Hold. Exhale, press down. 5. Super slow. And reach up. Exhale, press down. 4. And so every time you press down, it's like you were lifted up a little higher. 3. Eyesight down to the belly button. Good alignment. 2. One more. Arms come up, head goes down, cross your feet for just a moment. Windshield wipe those legs a little bit. How does it feel? Good. So the goal is, again, keeping this moderate pace is we are deepening the work, building heat and resistance. So we're going to do something very similar, except we're going to go arms out wide to a T. So we'll do 5 repetitions where you're adding flexion. Your 5th one, you'll stay lifted and do 5 with flexion, okay? All right, so arms to that T position, legs are finding tabletop. Find some pressure into the band. Exhale to pull in towards the hips and lower. Think of your ribs knitting together. 4. Good height. And 2. Good, one more. Hold it right there. Stay focused. Open your arms out like wings. Gather it in. Right back. For 5. Trying to keep your torso stabilized and super quiet. That's it. 3. This is deepening that work a little bit more. Pull away from your t-shirt. And one more time. Lower everything back down and rest in. Perfect. Windshield wipers one more time. So from here, we're going to go ahead and add a little coordination. And what's nice is because we're going to really focus on the adduction, abduction, where we're pulling outward to gather more strength in the external rotators. So we'll start with our triceps here. Fingertips up to the ceiling, tabletop through the legs. Good. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale to curl head and chest up. Straighten the arms, extend the legs. Hold, we open. Come back to just finding that resistance and then lower everything down. So the legs will never come back together. It's just to the point where you can maintain the resistance on the band. We curl up, we extend, we open, beautiful, lower it down. Every single time we're coming up, we're gathering new energy, new breath, trying to achieve a little bit more height than our last repetition. We have 5. Exhale, curl up. 4. And I'm watching to make sure that you're opening your legs out equally, that you're not favoring one side. So I want a little bit more from that left side on these last 2. Yes. One more. Good. That was your best one.
Bringing my arms up too far. Want to do that versus.
I was okay with it because if you were, it would like be crashing. There would be no control over it, but you were doing okay there. So, good. So that's the thing with that. I wanted to make sure that you are putting equal like amount of pressure to separate and not favoring one side. You need something like that too. So, let's go ahead and place those back down on your head. So we can remove the bands.
That was a good way to see how we use the band.
Yeah.
I haven't really started moving props yet.
Okay.
What smells good.
So because I'm going to get you into some of those full body exercises, go ahead and carefully come off. Roll to your side. I'm going to take you into some hip work, some kneeling hip work, some kneeling glute work that we could do very comfortably on the floor, but because you're at a level where I can take it up a notch, we're going to do some box. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to have you just on a light spring, so that blue spring, but this is going to require you to control more of the flow and not just kind of like swing through it. So, okay. So when we add more resistance, the springs can control a little bit more with lighter, you have to do that. So you're kneeling, you're going to face out towards the back of your floor. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start with this one. Find yourself like in the all fours position. So your hands are connected, yeah. And then you're going to, it's going to feel super uncomfortable right now, but you're going to take your weight towards me and shift your left knee in the center of the box. And I'm going to give this a tiny little pull because we're going to place your right arch of your foot. So you're going to move and take your knee towards me, place your foot into the loop. That's it. Do you have a good grip?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to let go of that. Now you're going to go ahead and send your weight towards me a little bit so we can square out, push into my hands. Good. Ice on the floor. You're going to begin to take this leg off to the side of the box. That's it. You're taking the inhale here. Then you're going to take your exhale to lift the leg straight up. Inhale to lower down. Now pressing again into my hands. Drop your chin slightly. Because we're looking at the cervical spine staying in line with the rest of the body here. That looks good.
Is my knee centered?
It's centered. I'm just going to shift your weight a little bit. Like as if there was a wall here. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah. I just feel like I want to put my knees next to that.
Go ahead. You need to adjust it. Feel free to adjust it because I want you to feel secure. And I want you to try to maintain this position as if you were reaching away from my hand. If your hip is reaching away from my hand, yes. And that should isolate that area a little bit more. That's it. Last two. Think of squeezing through the glute here. Hold it right there for me. You're going to soften your right knee in towards your chest. You're just almost like brushing right on top of the box. And then exhale. Good. You can even flex your right foot as if you were like pushing a heavy box. So as you push into my hand, feel the whole backside of your right leg working here. How are we doing?
Good. I'm just okay.
So to take away from your wrist, think right here. Yes, let's just do 3 more good ones because I don't want you to fatigue out here. 3. As you maintain this form. 2. Do that reminder, last one. Hold it up for me. Hold. Flex your foot. 5 pulses upwards. 5, 4. Pull your abs up. 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee. Come back in. Beautiful job. Carefully go ahead and remove that leg. Got it. Okay, and then there's a sense of control as we connect to what comes flying. Okay, just kind of like blow your shoulders out, your wrists, things like that. But because we're on all fours, this is already a body exercise, right? It's requiring you to do a kneeling plank exercise, right?
Once you're ready.
Get that way. Okay. Ready for the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. So very carefully, I'm going to have you adjust yourself so that you feel balanced and centered. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a pull here, nothing super quick. And then you're in charge of that loop. You got it? Okay. So once we're going back into our first position, I'm okay with it, but I want your elbows to be softer because you have a tendency to hyperextend a little bit. So again, once you start feeling fatigue in your wrists, is because we're lack of activation through here. Does that make sense? Okay. Now this leg is going to come off to the side. And then once you're ready, abs are drawn in, you're exhaling to lift that leg up and lower it down. So remember, there is this imaginary wall, and we want to kind of shift your weight away from my hands. Abs are drawn up and in, still locked to core activation where you are thinking of the inner thighs working together to strengthen the pelvic floor. The diaphragm is working. As you breathe through those ribs, drop your chin slightly. Elongate through here. That's it. Beautiful. Again, less is more. So it's not about like getting 12, 15 repetitions in. It's about getting like at least 6 to 8 good ones in. Let's do 2 more. Nice. Sometimes these hand gestures are such a nice reminder. Good. We're going to hold it there. You're going to bend your knee in towards your chest. So this is the one where you want to feel like you're pushing this heavy box. You're flexing your feet. And then pushing into my hands. Yes, to feel the glute and hamstring work together. See if you can create that on your own. Good job. Let's see if breathe. A little bit more. Think of your body moving towards me slightly. That's it. One more, just like that. Hold it. Little pulses up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it back home again. Good job. Okay. Carefully, carefully, carefully. We're going to pat that. Yeah. So carefully come off to the side there. We'll do a little stretch. So let's just do a hip stretch where you're going to face me. And we're going to go ahead and place your right leg up on top of the box for your pure form stretch. And you have the opportunity to be in charge here. So you're pushing off your left foot to move the carriage to the right side. And you can play with it as you go back and forth.
I like this one kind of like shows. Because Karen, her reactions have been like, my issues with how I said. Okay. So I need to figure for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And as you're here, like, take a moment to like really embrace, like open the chest out. Yes. And then it's like this hinge over. Because when we have that straight line, we actually deepen the stretch as opposed to like kind of collapsing through the spine. Do you feel that a little bit more? Yeah. Just one more time here, and I'll have you switch to the other side. Okay, go ahead and walk over there. In order to do this stretch, I do need you to switch to the other side so you can push off the leg. That's why. Okay, so nice and tall. Hips are squared. Maybe tuck your tailbone under slightly. You may have more flexibility here, but take your right leg back one. And think of your left hip going back and your right hip coming forward. Yes. And then shoulders are down. How does that feel?
Good. It like released something in me.
I guess it's a good sign, right?
Yeah. My hips have been popping more doing feet and straps.
So we need to work on stability. So like instead of like going super wide with the circles, less than that.
I try to do, less big of circles, so smaller circles and more core. I don't know if that's the right idea. Just to make sure I'm not over compensating on my hip flexors.
Right, great.
My mom is getting into whole hip replacement tomorrow.
Okay, let's go ahead and come off with that.
She has a completely different body to
Oh yeah,
tiny. She's like Lucy.
oh my gosh.
Skinny legs.
Okay, so I'm gonna have on a medium and light spring, so red and blue, and we're gonna do short spine. Okay, so I'm gonna have you light on your back, have resting down.
Is it okay to pull on the sides of the reformer to get my hips?
Let's see, okay? So go ahead and push out for me. One foot goes in, that's good, other foot goes in, that's it. And then we're gonna start with frog, so heels together, toes apart. Make sure you shimmy off the shoulder blocks, so you're not super stuck. Okay, so with that being said, you have this sense of heaviness here. You're gonna exhale to 2 straight legs. Keeping your frog position, you're gonna take your arms, your legs overhead. You're coming in as close to the stopper, so I'm gonna give you some assistance here. That's it. Keeping your toes over your eyes, you're softening your knees, you're holding, and then you're articulating through the spine. So you're lowering down one vertebra at a time. Once the tailbone connects, that's when everything moves forward. That's it. Rest. Good. Bring it up overhead, bring it all the way in. We want to close the carriage as much as possible.
Because I'll feel easier because you're holding it.
Yeah. So if you ever had a client who needed assistance, this is what you would do. I'm just keeping you closed in for.
Okay.
When you go out, I'm not doing anything. So I am providing that stability. But then it feels so shaky. Nice, 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 nice. Good, deep breath there. Let's bring it close it all the way in. There's your flexibility. Bend your knees, and then one vertebra at a time. Lower down, lower. So you're coming down like a really want to reinforce. One more time here. Reinforce the articulation. Stretch and elongation. Keeping those heels together. That's it. Good job. Okay, so because your hip flexors are so tight here too, I'm gonna take this foot out of the loop and find your foot in the well. Okay, so if that feels okay, lower your foot down as much as you possibly can. And you're in charge of your stretch here, so you know how far you can go. And you should feel this not only in your left leg, but yes, through the top of your right leg. What do you feel more? Okay, so push to my hand a little bit. And then you can bend this knee towards your chest. Yeah. So I don't necessarily want you to feel the hamstring, not right now. I want you to feel the hip flexor so that we are like getting that stretched out. So this is a pretty like straightforward stretch. So you have to be super careful with how like deep you want to go with it. That's why the individual is definitely in charge of their stretch here. Okay, so take a breath there. Let's go ahead and bring it on out. Coming here. And then finding your fit. Watch the springs. You can hang up that pad. Or sorry, the loop on the pad. Well, and that's why I was noticing that from the very beginning.
This one's like no problem to make my foot.
And again, I get the opportunity to like work with you as an individual today, but that is like when you are looking at so many people, it's like, what do you see? That, and then there's patterns too. You'll start to see patterns in all that people.
With some of those body types.
Absolutely. Okay, go ahead and bring on yourself out of that. So find your foot bar. And let's go ahead and have you exit off to the side. And we're gonna go into just a little bit of elephant, okay? So I'm gonna keep you on your same spring tension. So still a red, a blue. You're gonna carefully, when you're ready here, bring your feet up on top of the carriage. The heels are supported by that shoulder block. Good. Shoulders are down and away, and I want palms on that foot bar, fingertips are reaching forward. So it's super light. I like the position in here where your hips are over your ankles. Now, super slow, you're gonna send that curve drop from underneath you. And I'm gonna stand in front of you to widen your shoulders and so that you're not moving your upper body, that it's strictly a hinge coming from your hips. That's it. Now, we're facilitating the movement from our abdominal muscles. So think of scooping your abs and like there's a porcupine underneath you. And that is where you're going to feel like you're dragging the carriage back in again. That's it. Looking really nicely. Inhale, push back. Inhale back, exhale forward. And I want heaviness on those heels because you're starting to pick up your heels here.
Scoop in a little bit.
Yeah. So in order to maintain that, I'm more concerned of that than you having the connection to the shoulder blocks. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So again, this heaviness in your heels, once you feel like they are lifting up, you've hit your stopping point. That's it. Shoulders down and away from those ears, like really broaden out the shoulders. More weight into your heels. We got 4 more good ones. It's almost like you want to rock your hips forward to feel like this string is pulling your tailbone upward to enhance the stretch through the back of the legs here. 2 more. That's all controlled with the abs. Last time. Good. Okay. So from here, are you all right? Okay. Do you want a towel? Here, I'll grab. But we are going to get into a little bit of long stretch here, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to just dive right into that. Okay, so the feet are supported by the shoulder blocks. We have the wrists under the shoulders. There you go. Okay, so one long line here. Shoulders are down, neck is long, press up into my hands. Yes, stay lifted. So again, we're just pushing up. Hold it right there. Take the inhale to glide your body in. So we have no movement with the hips here. Drop your right hip down, lift your left hip up higher. And this is super important to identify too, because then you can notice like where those weaknesses are with your weights. Yeah, so left hip up higher, right hip down. That's it. Right there, right there. Let me have you do 4 more. Good, left hip up higher. There you go. 2 more there, Julie, you got it. Keep pressing away from that foot bar. Left hip up higher. Last one. And return and bring it back in. Ooh, nice. Carefully exit off to the side for me. Yeah.
It's a lot harder than the safety.
But that's why angles are so important. Because if you're just watching someone from the side, you're not able to see all of those things that are occurring. Mm-hmm. And the reason being what's happening is because your left side is weaker and your right side is tighter, which we already established that earlier. So those are the things that will like start to follow through as we go through other exercises. So it's good to know that about your body so that when you're doing your own personal practice, you're like, that's right, I have a tendency to drop that left hip and I need, did you feel like the difference?
Yeah.
How like awakens up that sleeping muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we're warmed up, body's up. It's really warmed up. I'm going to do a few different arm exercises with you here before we do some of the full body work too. So I'm dropping it down to medium. Let's have a seat. We'll do some nice chest expansion as we face the back of the performer. You can go through. We'll grab a hold of your glutes here. Okay. As we sit up nice and tall, shoulders are going to roll back. Fingertips are looking towards the ground. Take an exhale to press on back for me. And inhale slightly forward. Good. Exhale it back. Good. Think of dropping your left shoulder, rolling your right shoulder back a little bit, and hold that alignment. There you go. Nice. Right through those lats, getting some triceps. Heavy water buckets sit right on top of your shoulders. Good. Let's do 2 more like that. Good. 1 more. Good. Hold it there. Lift the palms. Okay. Shoulders roll back again. Chest is lifted. Take an exhale and wing press. And I'd like your, like, as you cut through air more, turn your hand. Yes, there you go. Do you feel more tricep? Yes. So that's what I'm aiming for on this type of positioning of your hands. It's like you're just slicing through air. If I know the muscles are working, I see your arms shaking. Good, last 2. Good, 1 more time, keeping that chest lifted, draw those abs in. And bring it forward. All right, 1 more variation with our chest expansion. So we're going to take your hands and then flip your hands forward. Thumbs are on the outside of the loop. Okay, so there's this openness. Shoulders roll back. Exhale. Good. It's like you're balancing a book at the top of your head, so it's like you're growing a little taller.
Feel this more in my neck area, but not in the back.
Like up here. So that's most likely tightness that's occurring in your neck. So that's what needs to be addressed. Like some of those remedial exercises, neck stretches, upper and lower back would be a great.
Yeah,
we can finish with that too. Good, last time. Good. Okay, and I want to do a little bit of butterfly. So take those arms through the loops.
Always slipping a lot.
It's just your internal body. Yeah. So palms are looking at you. Take a breath here, and I don't want you leaning back. I want you, to come forward and drop your elbows down more. There you are. Now maintain that position as you open your arms out to the side in your peripheral vision, and then close it. We're trying to avoid leaning back here. And without squeezing your shoulder blades. So I want it to be very smooth, very flat, and hold right there. That's your stopping point. Good. Inhale to close. Exhale. Right there. Do you see how limited that range of motion got?
Mm-hmm.
Like it should isolate the posterior deltoid. And that's what I'm after. Again, when we're looking at shoulders, it's made of 90% of muscle. So we want to integrate as many exercises that's going to help strengthen our shoulder. That's it. Beautiful. 3 more, just like that. Those abs drawn in. Lifting, yeah, that extra little lift. Good. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. Just take another inhale through the nose. Allow those ribs to expand. Exhale, knit them back together. And then lower it back down again. Good. Okay. Go ahead and hang those up for me. So not a ton of arm exercises because we're doing so much whole body stuff. So I'm going to have you carefully exit off to the side. And I'm going to add in some extra assistance for you. So the medium spring plus the light spring. And then we can kind of work our way backwards. So make sure your hands are dry. Let me know if you need ribbies, extra ribbies for this on the foot bar. And then have you take a seat on the foot bar facing the back of the warmer. And you're going to position your toes at the very edge of the carriage. Okay, So this is the uncomfortable part, right? So fingertips are facing forward. This is when you're going to go ahead and start to straighten your legs and kind of like forward, not necessarily push the carriage out, but you're actually going to lift your hips off the carriage to straighten your legs. Yes, that's it. Now hold right there. Roll those shoulders back. Now there's like just like a pendulum. I just want you to kind of gather back and forth. And the work is coming from here. So again, like if you were to put on a pair of tight jeans, that's where it's like that thumb is coming from. Yes, nice and slow. Lift. Good. One more time. And lift and rest. Take a moment there. Head and stretch. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I mean, it's your own body weight. It's like every relationship. Oh, really?
Yeah. When I heard her say it, I made people mad. See how everyone else is doing it too.
So again, we have some extra assistance here to bring that carriage back with you. Okay, so I don't want you to fatigue out completely. Do you feel like you can do less weight, or is this really good enough for you right
I think this is
now? Okay, so we'll try another like 4 to 6 and see how we're doing. It's the small movements that actually like get us like to progress a little bit further each time. So I want you to focus on shoulders are back. Okay, we're gonna float the tailbone off of the bar. And then very carefully just pushing out and then lift. That's the hard part. We lower for the inhale, we exhale it up. Good. And I can already see, like, I think I'm gonna have you relax there and be done with it because the shoulders tend to like come up so much. And it's just because you've done a ton of repetitions. Okay, so here carefully exhaust the tight. Good. And we'll do a little bit of skater here. A little bit of skater. I like to have your weight because I want that medium and loose spring still. So you're going to carefully take your right foot on the ledge. And I'm picking skater because again, I want to focus on the abduction. And then the left foot is up against the carriage. Like on the very edge of the carriage. Okay, so I'm going to have you take your hands and place behind your low back. I do want a better grip. So with that, there you are. So before we get moving, I want you to like sit back, like if you were going to go into a small chair. And now keep your weight into your heels, tuck your tail under slightly. Hold that position. It's just the left leg that's moving. And then I'm going to keep my hand against your right knee so that you can stabilize. Keep it nice and quiet. Keep more pressure against my hands. Shift your weight. Yes, that's it. 6, 5, 4. Beautiful. Keep your left hip back. 3, 2, and 1, and come all the way up. Nice. Carefully. Left foot goes down behind you first. And then we'll walk around the other side. Okay, then we go to the stable side first to approach. And then the right side. We'll take the hands behind the low back. Weight is in the heels. Weight's on the outside of your feet a little bit. And our hands are a reminder to support our low back and to tuck our tailbone under a little bit. That's it. And again, we're pushing out. So it's not about how much of a bend, how much flexion we can provide in the knee. I just want to make sure that you're able to keep the weight into your heels and on the outside of your feet. Okay. In this specific case, because we have a tendency to want to roll in a little bit. Good. Push into my hand. Bring that left hip back, right hip forward. Good. 7. Keep pressing into my hand here. 5, 4. That's it. Left hip back, right hip forward. 3, 2. Ooh, left hip back. And 1. Good. That was nice.
This is normal to feel it more on the seat.
Yes. Because that's the stable side. But remember, your left side is your weaker side. So that's why it keeps moving so much. That's why I keep reminding you. So carefully step the right foot down. Nice. Okay. And let's go ahead and do a little bit rotation. So I'm gonna have you sit on the box. You can face the function wall for now. Grab a hold of your glute. Okay, so the legs can dangle. I'm okay with that. We're gonna interlace those hands here with the glute, nice and tall. Shoulders are down. You can check in the mirror. Take an inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, we're gonna go ahead and turn the torso. Hold center. So this work is coming from those obliques. Hold through center. Exhale, return. Back through center. Let's drop that shoulder down. Keep it down. Pull it away from my hand. You see how that limits your range of motion? So that's what I want you to feel in your body, because that is what generally anybody wants to do in order to achieve rotation. Yes. And you feel it more, right?
Yeah.
Take it away for 3. 2. Good. Last time. Nice. And then sit, go ahead and drop that down. You can swivel to the other side. And grab a hold of your glute. Okay, shoulders down and away. Again, supporting those fingertips, taking that breath, checking in with your body, taking inventory. If you're shrugging your shoulder up, that looks good. You're better on this side. Nice. 7. And 6. Good, dropping the shoulder down. It's like you're twisting or wringing yourself out like a towel. Growing in height. 2 more. And last time. Very, very nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and hang that up for me. I'm going to have you on your stomach. We're going to finish it with some pulling straps. You're going to face the back of the room, the back of the risers, I should say. I'm keeping you on your medium spring, so you're good with the box. Go ahead and lie down on your stomach. And I'm going to keep the foot bar off on purpose to send that reminder to keep your thighs off the box here, okay? So you're going to grab a hold, and I'm going to have you take choke up on the ropes here about the middle buckle. All right. Float your thighs off the box for complete activation. When you're ready, pull those arms straight back. Chest is still down though. Let's find neutral. Let's hold it right there. Yeah. So hold neutral and just let the arms do the extension. Good. And then I'm just going to kind of nitpick here. So I'm going to have your right leg lift up a little, not that much higher, but a little higher right there. Think of reaching out of your left toes. There we go. And if you feel comfortable enough here, Julia, as you maintain that, we're going to start to lift the chest, isolated down the headrest. Arms come back, rolling those muscles down your back pocket. We'll take it for 6. And 5. Good. 4. Rolling those shoulders back. It's not about the height, it's about the lengthening. Good. 2. Left leg comes up a little higher. There you go. 1 more time. Good. Hold, drop your chin slightly. That's it. Hold, 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 breathe. And then lower everything back down. And rest it. You're like, oh, I'm sweating. Okay. There. Okay, exit off to your right. We'll finish it with some roll downs. Okay, hip distance apart there with the feet. Let's go ahead and send those arms straight up towards the ceiling. Take a dive all the way down, fingertips to the floor. Maybe you're shifting your weight forward a little bit. And just do this nice quick check-in with yourself, how you're feeling from the very beginning of class. Exhale to reset and rebuild your spine. Head the laughing to come up, shoulder roll it back. Good. One more time. We're going to reach the arms all the way up. We're going to take a dive down. Maybe play with the weight here as you shift into the balls of your feet, back into your heels. Lighten out through the shoulders. And then scoop the belly here. Ground the feet. Squeeze through the glutes. Rebuild the spine. Shoulder roll it back. Good. Okay.
That's good. Thank you.
I'm glad.